Welcome everybody, it's your boy Tony Ortiz coming back to you with another This Week in Brave Exvius for November 9th, 2022. We've got a lot of news, but it's all low impact for this week. So thanks for coming out and hanging out with us tonight. You can join us live on Twitch. The link is in the description below. And we appreciate you coming out on the YouTubes and checking this out. We try to get this up before maintenance every week. But sometimes we don't, so appreciate you coming back on Thursday morning, checking out what was going on the week before, seeing what you still have access to. Everything in this game is up for 2 weeks usually, so you're gonna get some information on what you could, we might have missed from last week, what you could still do this week while it's all going down. So let's go ahead and check out the units first. Oh boy, it's been weird. So first of all, we got another collaboration this week, which is very interesting considering we got Mana couple weeks before, and now we're getting another collab now, and we know we're getting near in 2 or 3 weeks. There's the 19th, so like literally 2 weeks we're getting near the 20th. So this is interesting because there's all these limited time units, and you would think that clustering them all together is going to have a very big impact on how many people pull, because people are going to save for what they think is the best. And we've already kind of spoiled the big collab that you've been touting since the summer, as also the one that's going to be on Clash of Wills. You're not going to get a whole lot of takers on units like this. So let's just go through them real quick. They're not really worth talking about. Surge Kid and Lynx, they're all mages, which means that they're probably going to be pretty useful in this upcoming DV. Well, the fire and ice, abilities will be. But then also, you're going to have them fall off very hard, very quickly. Combine that with their event, their farming event, taking, let's see, you got to get like 12 materia or something, and they all cost like 80k of the farming tokens. Yeah, it's not a great look. I really don't know what they were thinking with this one. I don't know when JP got this. I'm assuming they did get it though, and yeah, I don't really know why they wouldn't hold this for a little later and maybe like buff a lot of these units, because this is a game that's relatively popular. I'm not a huge fan of it. I love Chrono Trigger. I don't think we're ever going to see that collaboration, although it would do so well if they did do it, even if the units were bad. This one is kind of like a more niche following, right? So there's a lot of people that love the first game but didn't care for this game whatsoever. And I feel like if you really want to capitalize on this, you got to make these units way better. It's not bad that they're mages, because we don't have a ton of great mages running around. But the only place you really have to use a mage is DV. And DV is not the end game content anymore. Although the one that's coming tomorrow is uncapped. So in theory, you're probably going to have some high scores, top 10, that are going to have these to do that. The only problem is for your average player, it doesn't really make sense. They're all on 3 separate fortunes here as well. At least there's only a single step up. But yeah, I didn't even throw tickets at this. I'm still farming the items because you never know when they might come back. But it's really disappointing, especially because like this card is okay, and like, I don't know, I like having unique units that aren't coming back for a while, but you really have to sell, the unit if it's not a game that you really love, and they just really don't know how to do that, or they don't put enough effort into it, I guess. It kind of goes into my theory that they're like, the global version of the game is probably operating with a lot less people than they need to be operating with to really like be able to update every unit so that it's good enough for you to actually want to buy it, or pay for it or whatever. But yeah, they're just all soft. They're gonna hit the bench after this next 2 week period. Yeah, and I wouldn't pull for them, especially knowing that we're gonna get some really top tier meta units, and most likely in a couple weeks. Yeah, so it is what it is. Let's just go check out the farming event real quick. It's pretty much the standard as you would expect. So it's this Viper Manor one here up on the top. Your standard 50 energy per battle, collect this stuff, turn it in, and so on and so forth, and that's it. Your standard reward track here. I think it's you get to 100k and then you're done. This one you do get the free NV though at the end, so you really want to make sure you get this one done. This one, even though you don't need their gear, if you're not going to pull on any of them, unless they come back later or whatever. This is worth doing on its own. Like if you spike a really good unit off of this, it's worth. I mean, and even then, if you don't, like maybe it's 50 frags for somebody who's decent. Who knows? It could be completely whiff, but you know what else are you gonna do this week and next week while you wait? So once you clear your DV, you got nothing to do, right? So you know, definitely get that done. There's a couple of extra things to do here. We've got a pretty much easily one-turn killable set of fights with Golbez, just nuke them. And then you've got something sort of unique is this actual level from the game, exploration mode. So you go in here, there's like 5 or 6 chests you can pick up, you fight a boss and a couple of mobs, and you jump out. So there's that as well. But that's all there is to this week. It's pretty much not pretty much soft. There's not much to do. We did have item world reset, so if you come back over here, you will notice that your track was back to 0 on Thursday, and you can get another 1,000 coins. Yeah, so you can get another 1,000 coins. You can buy another item. You can also get an MV summon ticket here at the 100k, and if you go down to 200k, you can get. It looks like I think it's 40. Wait, 5. It's 20. It's 20 STMR Moogle tickets. So I would definitely advise going down to 20. You can just run the same item over and over again and skip everything. Just bring in Cecil or Tyvis with their item and, you know, instant kill it or whatever. Or, you know, just like hit the auto button and get your free STMR tickets. We will do a quick little note on the items because there have not been any items added for item world. So what you can do is once you get over to the shop where the coins are, I don't remember which one it is. This one? Nope. This one? Nope. It's literally the last one. Okay. So what you want to do is if you don't have an abscess staff, you want to pick this up and you want to pick up the upgrade. The reason you want to do this is because this is one of the better one-handed magic tanking weapons out there. It might even be the best, technically. So you definitely want to upgrade this one first, because the rest of these items are okay, but like, you know, they're not going to be anywhere near what you need them to be to hit the meta. You know, even the two-hander. You know, after you upgrade it, it's 190 attack. That's super low. Most STMRs from the beginning of this year are at 220, you know, or higher. So, you know, you're talking about Esther, Fravia, so on. Not to mention, we're about to get a two-handed sword tomorrow that you can buy from DV. That has 400 attack. So, you know, these are cool to have, but I would not bother with them. You can see I already had a Azza staff, so I went ahead and grabbed the mark to upgrade it with the last one. And then I went ahead on this one and I grabbed the upgrade for this sword that I bought a second copy of. And then, you know, I went ahead and grabbed this time I went ahead and grabbed the upgrade for this, and then I went ahead and grabbed another one of these guys. So I've been playing long enough to already have all 3 of these base items, so really nothing mattered for me in this scenario except for buying the abscess upgrade first. And you know, buying a second staff doesn't really matter. Even if you could upgrade this again, you're always only gonna ever bring one magic tank to a fight in these days, this day and age. So, you know, upgrading that matters. Then, you know, grabbing the enhancement and, you know, whatever for these other swords or whatever. It just gives you something to run through item world. So no new items though. So it reset, but there's no new items. I'm assuming it's going to reset one more time, which will allow everybody to pick up everything. And then maybe these will get wiped out and we'll get 3 more items back, or maybe they'll leave them in here and they'll add some more. Don't really know what the plan is for that. You have to talk to somebody on JP to get more insight on that one. Oh yeah, we've got our fragment tickets that are almost finished being given out. Let's see, how many do I have? I have 9. So I think I've spent, let's see, I bought all the Emperor ones because I needed over 100 to get to EX3. Yep, so I bought all those. I bought 5 Vons, right? So that got me my Von EX2. So I should have 15 left. Did I spend any more? I don't think so. So, okay, we're not done, but I think we get 2 more a day every other day for this week, and then we have all of them. I generally have no idea what I'm going to do with the last 15. I don't need anything. I don't want to spend it on premiums because I don't think it's worth it. I think you should just put your premiums in your daily frag dungeon runs instead, because not only do you get only a limit of half, you have to pay double for them, which is just a robbery, to be honest. I think we've been over this, but so maybe start to get a better idea of where you want to spend these. Start looking at your units, kind of plan out. You should have until like the end of this month almost to be able to spend these. Definitely, if you don't have Sylvie EX3 and you have a copy, prioritize her. But everyone else is kind of more like, who do you not have at EX3, and so on. I might actually do some Ash because I have Ash. I don't have a Balthier. I have a Balthier in my alt account, but I do have an Ash, and she is usable in some trials and stuff. So I might spend 5 on her to get her to EX2. I think I have. I might have to buy L10. I don't know. I'll have to circle back on this. But yeah, so definitely save your Lapis. We've been talking about that for a few weeks now. Nier is on the way. Save your Lapis for that. You definitely don't want to be short on Lapis when a double premium shows up. Now, hopefully they won't do a double premium, but you can't put it past them. They might very well do so. So you want to make sure you have at least 120k if you can get there. I've got well over that, but you never know what's going to come up between now and then. So make sure that you have at least 120, or try to get to 120 by 2 weeks from now. All right, let's take a look at the news. Just real quick, just want to pull up the stuff that's coming in. We're getting 12 types tomorrow. Where is the weapons and stuff? Not that. Okay, yeah. So you can see here it's uncapped. We still haven't gotten our dark matter upgrades for rewards. Right, so you can see there we only get 800 dark matter when we do a DV, and JP gets a lot more than that, which is why these new weapons that are coming cost 10k in JP, and why basically everybody's been telling you to save your dark matter since the beginning of this year. I wish I would have gotten that message like a month earlier, because I think I bought like one more one-hand weapon, and I definitely regret that because it's useless. Now, dual wield meta is coming back. Or at least it will have a say. It just came back in JP, so like we should expect it in about 6 to 8 months, I would guess. Right before anniversary would probably be a good time for them to get that out, to be honest. It would probably make a lot of people happy. Keep things flexible. So here are the items that are coming. So as you can see, two-handed katana, a two-handed sword with magic, and a two-handed staff. This is not a rod, this is a staff with magic as well. So an interesting combination. Now, this weapon is perfect for Golbez. Like, if you only have 10,000, or you get close to 10,000, or to 10,000 with this DV, and you have Golbez EX3, I would definitely buy this first, because he's just going to crap all over content for like the next couple months. Otherwise, I'd go with the sword. The katana is pretty good. There's lots of katana imperils available. There's lots of good katana wielding units. There's no equip katana, but there's a couple of materia that will let you equip katana. So if you have any of those, this isn't bad. They just don't say equip katana. Like twin sword user lets you equip katanas. There's like one more, I think. But yeah, these are definitely going to be massively important for you. These are best in slot for anybody trying to use them. So if you take away a weapon imperil and you're just looking at stats, it doesn't matter what else you have. these are best in slot. These are actually even better than a weapon with a bunch of flat stats for a specific unit on it, because don't quote me on this, but I don't know how it works exactly. However, the base attack of the weapon, so this plus 405, this is applied somewhere in the algorithm before a bonus would be applied. So like say you go to the Collab, right? Like say you go let's just go over to my Titus here. Okay, so you got the Collab or whatever. Okay, so it has this Bygone Heroes Blade, this fixed parameter boost. The way it's worked in a lot of video games and algorithms in the past, and I'm assuming this is the way it works in this game, is that this plus 220 goes into the algorithm very early. So then it gets multiplied by a bunch of shit, and it becomes a much, much larger, right? And then anything like this usually gets dumped at the end of an algorithm. So it's not going to get multiplied by other bonuses. So I'm assuming that's probably similar to the way things work here. So you go back to these weapons, this plus 405 attack katana, you put this in his hands, and since that stuff gets multiplied by, you're doubling this basically, and that gets all multiplied and everything, it ends up being more than the difference than, like, say this bonus 500 or bonus 750 or maybe even bonus 1,000 on some of these other items is worth. So that's why even with the heroes that you have or the units that you have with a special katana that gives them like 500 extra attack power, this two-hander is still going to be best in slot for those units. Unless they make some kind of change to the game code. But I mean, that's the way it is on JP. So pay attention for these. If you don't have 30k dark matter, we're basically hoping that since we've lost about 10 to 20,000 dark matter, depending on like where you would place in the on the rankings or whatever from JP, because our rewards haven't gone up for over a year, we're hoping that these are discounted. This is one of these communication breakdown problems that I was talking about last week and the week before, and pretty much every week since anniversary. It doesn't hurt to just tell us what they're going to cost. Like, they could have just told us how much dark matter they're going to cost, and we would know on Tuesday. You wouldn't be logging into the game on Thursday after patching, and then blah blah blah. They'll tell you how much to enhance, so like they're like reducing the enhancement, but the problem is this doesn't tell you about this weapon and its total cost, because these weapons aren't enhanceable. They come at stage 10. So like this is just a reduction of cost of one-handers, and we're not going to get refunded for all the ones we've built already. So as you can see, they're showing you with a Ragnarok. It's unfortunate, but I don't know why they don't just tell us in the news. If they tell you in the news, then you don't have to get all like excited for Thursday and then get disappointed all over again. You can just be disappointed once. You can see the news and go, oh, well, I mean, I don't have to prioritize logging in on Thursday to find out. I can just go on. Like the unknown is so much worse than the known, right? You'd rather know in almost all scenarios the information, and then be able to plan around that, right? So hopefully these are reduced in price. If they're not, it's going to break the meta apart, in my opinion, because if these start getting used in videos for newer players and mid-level players who can't afford them, who can't even buy one of these, there's several people in like Discords right now that are saying like, I don't have 10k, I have like 7k, 8k. I'm like, okay, well that's gonna be tough, because when the new 12 types comes out and the clear is posted with one of these weapons in it and you can't buy it, or worse, all three of these weapons in it and you can't buy any of them, I mean, there's just going to be... This is what I always worry about. I always worry about when stuff like this happens, that the bulk of the community, like the quasi free-to-play players, or the players that only buy a monthly Lapis, the Lapis fountain like I do, or like maybe the occasional Crest Pass, and like that's it. They get left behind so quickly when shit like this happens. Another alternative is they could just give us 10k dark matter tomorrow with the patch. That way at least everybody gets one weapon, So yeah, definitely another skip week, John. big time skipperoonie. But I mean, hopefully they don't bundle or bungle this like they have done so poorly since Anniversary. I really hope these don't cost 10,000. You know what? Like if these first three are discounted and then like the next ones cost 10,000, and from the I mean they're not going to fix it for this DV, but for the next DV if they up the reward amount, then okay, cool, we're good. Like at least people have a chance to like make a plan. Like okay, I could buy one of these for discounted, and then maybe I can buy another one because it's discounted. And now I have these two weapons, and then I can plan for the future. I know the next ones that are coming will be 10,000, and so on and so forth. So you know, let's wait and see. I mean, I have zero faith that they will do the right thing, but we all know what the right thing is. So maybe they will like back off. And John brings up a good point here. He's got 163. I've got 167, as you can see up at the top there. Waiting for a near myself. I'm fearing the double premium. So hopefully by the time it comes, maybe we might even have like enough to get 2 laps on a premium and all that. Hope neither one of them's premium. I'm assuming 2 NVs, but who knows? They really need this to be a win, though. I think they need this banner to be a win. I think they need something in the vein of Sylvie. I think they need something on Sylvie's power level, and I think it needs to not be premium, because people need to be able to buy the fragments, get it to EX2, use it in that same Clash of Wills. I think that they should absolutely follow through with an NVA. I think they should take the old, because I know we're going to get some of the old Nier units back, right? So maybe take the old 2B, NVA her, give her an SLB. She doesn't need a new sprite that way. Maybe all you have to do is change an animation or two on the LB, make it a little flashier with like some more glowing frames or something, right? And that way you can give out a free 2B or 9S or whatever the fuck they are, and you can give that out as the first daily login for the event, and then everybody can get an NVA. Give out 50 frags, like give out 20 frags, 25 frags, and 50 frags later on in the track. Everybody gets an EX1 for free, and then they can use that in the Clash, which would be really cool. You don't even have to put any morale abilities on the kit. You could leave the kit blank, just put a morale scaling on the Super LB. That's all you have to do, really. I think it's super easy. They should do it. It'll create some goodwill. You're not going to get an MVA like Golbez anytime soon. Well, actually, take that back. We're going to get one tomorrow. Onion Knight is the last one. So, Onion Knight's NVA is pretty good. It's not as good as Golbez, but it's pretty close. And then we're getting no good MVAs until Carlette. So that's 6 months away minimum. And they'll probably hold her back because she's good. So they tend to hold the good MVAs back. I'm surprised they didn't hold Golbez back actually. But we only have one Final Fantasy 4 banner, so they kind of had to give them out. But yeah, that's all that's really going on this week. I gave my theories on Nier in the last couple episodes. You can always ask me over live on Twitch what I think about that. So we're going to go ahead and get this uploaded for you guys. You're already watching it on YouTube. Thanks for checking it out. Put all the stuff down below and check out the comments. If you want to know where to find me, if you just look in the description, there'll be a link to my Twitch channel page, and then my channel page has everything. So just click on over to there, check it all out. That way I don't have to spam it in every video and everything. And let me know what's going on and how you're doing, how much Lapis you have saved, for Nier, who you think the units are going to be. Let me know, because I've never played a Nier game, so I have no idea. I was not playing this game when the previous collab happened. There's one more really big piece of news that I want to cover before we get out of here. They're changing tornado frames to bolting strike frames. I think that's in here. Yeah. All right. So this is going to be really cool. This is going to make a lot of units that don't chain well, because all they have is tornado and flood and AMOE or something, into being able to be brought as chainers. So this is actually going to be really cool for a lot of units that kind of were completely unusable before. So yeah, keep your eye out on this. This is going to be pretty cool. This is going to maybe some of your units in storage will come out. Just off the top of my head, Barbacia, can now come in and chain with whoever off of casting Tornado 3 times. So that's pretty cool. I really think they should do a lot more of this, condensing the chaining families down to chaining families that that are all doable on mobile is something they should absolutely do. Things like Stardust Ray and AMOE, things that you have to start in the same frame. When literally the device that you're designed to play the game on default does not allow two different places to be touched on the screen and count as two independent inputs. So like when you touch two spots on a phone, the phone is programmed, whether it's Apple or Android, to count that as a single input in terms of like what it does. It doesn't count it as this. So like think about when you touch an LCD screen with in two or even 3 points, it's like touching it with a single hand. What this game expects is the ability to be able to do this, or have a third hand, or a fourth hand. In the actual LCD screen and the OSs of the phones, without some kind of external element that gives them the ability, are not programmed to recognize that. You know, so having frame chaining families that have to be started on the same frame literally is counterintuitive to the device that the game is designed to be played on. So really, really stupid of them to let that go for so long. But hopefully this stuff is going to start getting cleaned up. Like I'm not saying change everything to Bolting Strike and Extreme Nova. That doesn't have to happen. But just make some adjustments to maybe Stardust Ray or AMOE or some other families to where if I hit within I don't know 15 frames it'll still chain. That's a quarter of a second. That's still pretty fast. Like that's still not reactable in fighting games. Like take the fighting game Tekken for example. The average like the best human beings can only see a low move come out and know that it's a low move with about 18 frames of or 18/60ths of a second of a of a window. Some of the best, most fastest reaction people in the world can maybe see it a frame or two sooner, and on reaction, like they can see it and then do something with their body in reaction, right? So like that's still pretty fast, but having to be able to like literally press the button, unpress the button, and then press another button on the phone. That's literally three minimum frames of animation that you have to spend. So there's only a 2 frame window on the chain to start and chain it. It gets really horrible. There's a lot of old clears out there that use like Shadow and Zon, and they chain AR and SR, and if you don't have macros set up on an emulator, that's just like not realistic to be able to do that 3 or 4 turns in a row. You might get 1 out of 3 or 4 turns. So this is a step in the right direction. Please more of this, Gumi. Please clean this up. It'll make chaining a lot better. You'll be able to use espers to like give people flood or whatever to chain now. If you can clean those frames up a bit, and it's not going to devalue Blue Wave or Scarlet Wave materia either, or the Broom weapon. All those things are still going to be very useful because now guess what? All those things now chain with this family now. Tomorrow. So that's where we're going to wrap it up here. I already gave the outro. That we'll call that a footnote. Come on and join us over on Twitch TV every Wednesday night for this show. Every Sunday night that's not a holiday for random stuff. I will be trying to figure out what to do for the holiday season coming up. Specifically the December and New Year's Eve, because I think those are both on Sunday this year. So what we'll probably do is do something the day before. Actually that doesn't work. Probably Friday. We'll probably do a Friday. So we'll do something on Friday night those weeks. If I cancel anything, I have a schedule. So if you go to the Twitch page, there is a schedule up there. And then what I do is if I know I'm going to miss something, I will go ahead and I'll jump on there and I'll click a little button that cancels it. So you can always go check that schedule and see, is he going to be here on Sunday? It'll say it's canceled if I'm not. So there is that. I haven't missed a Wednesday since I started the show. Don't intend on missing any of them anytime soon. And, I think I had one that I had to record just because we had a big family event. But I definitely posted it that same day. That Wednesday it still went up. So, check us out on over there. Warhammer Darktide is coming out at the end of this month. So if you have any interest in that, we're definitely going to be doing a lot of that. There will be many more bonus streams in the future once that is finally released. That comes out on November 30th. So check us out on that. I'm probably going to play that whole weekend, really. So I think that's a Thursday. The next day, December 1st, as soon as I get out of work, bam, we're going to be on that. And then we're going to be playing that all weekend. So come check us out then. Other things we do Final Fantasy runs. We do all kinds of other things. Final Fantasy randomizers, casual playthroughs, and so on. I was actually thinking about playing through Final Fantasy 3 because I've never played through Final Fantasy 3 before, which I think that's what we're getting tomorrow. I also have only played through Final Fantasy 2 once in my entire life, so I was thinking about maybe picking those up and playing those. So we might start something like that in anticipation for Dark Tide. So come on over and check us out over there. And thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you next week on This Week in Brave